Hey guys, so Patch 5 minutes of security, and today we're talking about endpoint providers that are guaranteeing you will never be breached. Well, actually, it's not a guarantee, it's more like a warranty. There's stipulations around it, there's about of a payout, but it's not that. We'll talk about it. Coffee first. Now, putting your brand behind the slogan that we guarantee you will never be breached is a difficult one for a lot of security researchers and analysts, in part mostly to do with the current landscape. And if you consider polymorphic malware, for instance, its variant is able to change each and every time it installs on a new victim, therefore making it very difficult to detect. Now, the notion behind preventing a data breach or guaranteeing a zero data breach isn't actually that far from truth if you consider the metrics that roll into it. When you consider from Moon Institute public cost of a data breach in 2020, the average cost globally is $3.8 million. Now, that cost is associated typically with a hard cost and not a soft cost. Soft cost meaning a representation of the loss associated with brand, etc. Hard costs are things that you can measure, such as legal fees, liabilities, the cost for remediation, incident response. Those are things that you can calculate, and we can take that into consideration for a commercial business that operates on economies of scale. It typically means that they're going to have some stipulations in which you're going to have to consume or abide by or agree to in order for them to provide that level of guarantee. Now, you can find these metrics summed up under warranty costs, and typically you can find them with certain endpoint protection providers or EDR providers that offer this level of guarantee. With that, here are three things to consider. Number one, there is going to be a cost of a payout. So if you're consuming their product and you happen to be breached, there is a cost of a cap that they will pay out on. In 2016, 2018, it was roughly 1 million, I think was the benchmark. 2020 may differ. You're gonna have to look into that. Number two, the scope in which you are consuming their service. If it's a small amount of endpoint quantity may mean a small amount of payout. So the larger the quantity of service that you're consuming from the provider, or endpoint in this case, the larger the payout as well. And there are stipulations as to what they're able to pay against. So again, reference that earlier. And number three, the scope of your environment relative to what you have already done to reduce your own risk. Now, with that being said, this is not a paid affiliation, so I'm not sponsored by CrowdStrike, but I have positioned them due to their documentation. If you want to do some research, I would highly recommend that. CrowdStrike, if you're listening. Guys, as always, I hope this content brought you value. Hit the like, smash the subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.